Fine. So then, good afternoon to everyone. And then this is another new meeting between you and me. So that means we have never met, I think, earlier, except some people who have joined earlier to other groups. So majority here are new faces for me. I am not able to see your faces. You all can see me. So then somehow this may be your first time. This is the first time that you are meeting with me. But you might have attended some other ICT classes, some other accounting classes, some other maths classes up to now. Most probably it should be the way, without just waiting for the last moment. Somehow what my assessment is, at this moment, you and me are connected to start a big chapter in your life, that is the advanced level. So then our target is to sit for the paper in 2023. That's the timing. Even the time as you have expect is going to be the August. So if you are counting the time period, now this is 2021 October. That means this is 8 months. This October is the 10th. So then if I'm counting the years, so we don't have 2 years even. Why? We have around 1 and 10 months more. Here there's a 10 months delay. So then according to my experience, so this time is very little time for us. So not even 2 years, right? So then that's a very little short period of time. Even if you know that the condition of the current situation of the country, so we may experience some more obstacles in the future. So then time is a critical factor for you and me. So in my side, I thought of not starting a new batch even. The thing is, in my side, for 2023, I have started 2 batches earlier. One batch is in March, other batch is in July. And this is the third batch to be started on October. So according to my timeline, I feel that this is the batch which is too late. That means you all, if you have started your ICT at the moment. So then doesn't matter, we'll take the risk, we'll take the responsibility. As a teacher, I'll take the responsibility of covering everything on time. But I need your support. Now, compared to the other batches, now when you go to the March batch, the first and the second chapters are almost to be over. And we are about to discuss the past papers of the first 2 chapters. But we have never started our syllabus now. So I think the gap. And the other plan of mine is, so there are people who are willing to, who are not vacant at this moment, Sunday 1 to 3. If so, regarding the London Bridge class, we have the other group available on Saturday. That's going around 7:30 to 9:30 somewhere. Then my plan is to bring you people, the new batch, into the March batch parallelly somehow before starting the physical classes. Then people who have conflicts, you can switch into the other Saturday batch. Even Saturday batch people, if you have conflicts, they can jump into Sunday batch 1 to 3. So that's my target. For that, I need your support, especially to cover these things very quickly and bring you into the level of them. So then you understand the gap. So then most probably I may increase the time duration of our sessions. Otherwise, I can't reach that level. Obviously, that batch is also going parallel to uni. So then I have to catch that up. Sometimes this may be a 3-hour session in the future. Or else I may add some extra classes. And my explanations may be quite fast than the other classes, since I want to take you into that level to have them equal. The main thing is, according to my experience, so this is not good to say, but I must reveal the truth here. When you go to the chapter 1 as well as chapter 2 in our ICT syllabus, they are laying the basement of your subject. But when it comes to the exam paper, final A-level exam paper, so we have a very less amount of questions from this section. You can score very little amount of marks. even less than 10 marks for the final paper. Very less, sometimes around 5 marks. So therefore, thinking of the paper, this is not that important, but these chapters are important to lay the foundation to build up your ICT confidence. So then when you are going to talk about hardware, then the primary storage, secondary storage, SRAM, DRAM. So I want you to give that basement, then only when it comes to the other difficult chapters, just like database chapter. So that's a big question from this one. So definitely there will be 10 marks given from this, or even 10 to 15, including MCQs. And even if you go for networking, again it gives you 10 to 15. So there are direct targeted questions in our paper. You don't know anything about it now. So therefore, to get into these chapters easily, we need to have the foundation about the cloud ideas, about the internet. So then they are introduced under the first two chapters. Therefore, my introduction for you people will be quite faster. Then what I want is having proper concentration regarding the lessons. For you all, I don't think that online is nothing, right? Why? You did your O levels the last 8 months, even last year most probably, with online. And even now you have started other classes, or even you have went for some other ICT classes even. So you have started some of the majority of you have started your A levels, right? Then you have joined to the best as well due to some other reasons. Doesn't matter. Still, online is okay for you. And even hope that you may concentrate well and follow the sessions. If not, this will be a big challenge to covering everything parallel to the other batches and finishing them in 2023 A level, August. So take this challenge, take this risk. So we are getting into a big challenge now, and this is the exam deciding your future. You all understand that? Still, you don't have that value of it. But once you do the A levels and get your results, then only you will feel it. Now you have got your O level results. But you found that once you get 9 A's, there are more people who got 9 A's. Okay. Honestly speaking, I say that having 9 A's have no value, right? With that, what can you do? I'm not discouraging you. With that, you can't apply for a, you can apply for a job, fine. I'm not discouraging you. But say that you have 9 A's in your O levels and you get 3 F4 A levels. What will be the value of this? So then I'm telling you that having 9 A's, having 8 A's, having 7 A's for your O levels is not a crown for you, right? Some people will agree with me. Me yaha patan gatta gawam apita bayin hadana 9 A's gatte unda mokadda do me karanne? I'm just revealing the real truth, right? So then understand that. So though you got 9 A's, that is giving a certain confidence to your life. So I'm a certain person who can capture the things, studies well. So this is the first gear you put to start your A level. So this is the exam deciding your life. If you get into the university, then you'll be a graduate. Then after that, you may go to your postgraduates. Sometimes you may go to higher studies. You may be going to foreign countries. You may stay there. All will be based on this exam. If you fail here, again the same. So all those dreams will be in vain. So no graduates, no university. Then you have to follow some other courses, begging your parents again, Amma, I can't go to the local university. Then can you fund me to get into the degree of this private university? It may cost around 15 lakhs. Is it okay to find that amount of money? That will be your future then, if you are going to be in that level. Otherwise, you have to do some other lower level courses, diploma course, whatever the courses, and then you'll be in that level. So then this is highly valuable than what you did now. Therefore, I'm telling that there will be only 1 year and 10 months. So during that time, now we don't have time to rest now, right? You have already rest. From this January onwards, you are resting me. So then no, here onwards, you have to start your work. If you are going to join my pathway, if you are not working, still no guarantee what you will happen. So then I'm just giving you a small basement for you, how you should behave here onwards. Some people have started now, especially the people who are doing mathematics, they have started their chapters. That's okay. Sometimes their first chapter is over. Still, they have not started ICT, or you have gone to some man. Doesn't matter. Then I'm telling that now, no time, no time wasting of time. Especially arts people, commerce people, they are still in rest. No, if you are in rest, definitely rest in peace, Tamai. Right. So then, what I want to say is, start your work now. Work hard. So revise everything. These are the small plan, right? Now we are doing a session for 2 hours now. So revise what we did after finishing the session. Most of the people are just online. That's the next critical thing. You just write the notes. You just attend the session, close the book. That's all. So next year, next month, next week only you are going to take the book and continue it. You can't remember what we did in the last class. Don't do that here on us. Within this week, until the next Saturday, Sunday comes, there's a 7-day period. During that, revise this, go through that again, prepare a short note, and if it is possible, try to find some extra resources. Internet is the best resource now. You can download some turn test papers. So get into that track now. Then only you can have a better expectation for your A-levels final. So then this is a big challenge, as I'm telling all the time. So no time to play, no time to joke. Start the work here onwards. Right. So congratulating all. We'll start the syllabus here onwards. So without spending too much of time here onwards. So then most of the people might have heard about me earlier. Some people might not have heard about me, but doesn't matter. I don't want to boast about myself. So I'm just a person who is teaching A-level ICT. We'll see how our career is, how our work is. So in my history, many more people. So even in the last year, even the previous year. So people who came to me, especially from around Kandy. So the best results were released from my students, from my children. So normally regarding results, I don't count them even, right? So that's up to the children. So on the other way around, I'll tell that one as well. Now some people will believe that මේකට results නැති හින්දා මේ කියන්නේ නැත්තේ කියලා. Normally my concept is now most of the teachers are doing that in the field of tuition. Whenever a child comes to the class, sometimes that child may come to 1 day or 2 day, and then if that child becomes the district rank 1, 2, or 3, whatever thing, then that teacher gets the ownership of that results. This is my child, and having big leaflets and everything. So that is going to be a certain promotion for the teacher, not for the child. So then my theme is, I may be wrong, but my theme is, whenever a child gets a best result, especially the district ranks, that is mainly based on the performance of the child. Teacher guided only. I just guide. But again, to be a district ranker, definitely that person should get highest results, not only for my subject, even for the other subjects as well. Okay. What the teacher can say is, I just contributed for this, that's all. But it's not the ownership of the teacher. So then, because of that reason, I don't promote my performance based on the results of the children. So people who know about the guidance of mine, they may come to me and stay with me, and they'll get that guidance and flourishing their future. So then I don't want to promote telling that these number of A's are there, these number of B's are there, likewise. So I don't, I have never put such leaflets, even I'm not in the future. Right. Okay, then we'll start our concepts in this way. ICT stands for Information, Communication, Technology. Right. These are the ICTs. Now, once you go for the ICT, Information, Communication, Technology, here I'll just give a brief introduction basement regarding this topic. Here we have a certain word given here called as communication. What is communication? I'll try to give you the brief idea about this. What is communication? We know this is a usual word for us. Communication means simply whenever two people met, they are talking. Especially if it is two girls, what I say, communication no thamai. Is it? Don't know. So then that's my experience and what I have seen in the roles. So then the chat boxes are never ending. So that's going for communication. Talking. That's communication. Exchanging the ideas. This person say what she knows. This person say what she knows. Sometimes they people are arguing. That's going for communication. The primitive basic communication is oral communication. Sometimes what we can do is we just use a phone and still we are in a communication. Then they are not physically one another, but still we are talking and going for the communication. Other than that, we'll continue our chatting nowadays. WhatsApp, SMS, still communication. I'm that. So here it's heavy raining now. What about your side? Then communication. Then simply communication in the sense exchanging ideas, views between two or more parties, not only in between two. Now, you all have joined into a Zoom meeting, including myself. Is this giving you a certain communication? Again, other thing, now this online platform, you all know about this, right? These are just small things. So then, really, when I'm doing my sessions today, so I need your cooperation. So I need that small push up. So that will give me a small stimulation. So then, when I'm asking question, I really appreciate if you give me the answers in the chat room, not from the mic. Otherwise, it will be a big disturbance thing. So the chat room is open to you. You know how to use the chat room in the Zoom. So in the you know how, right? I don't need to change, mention that. So in the chat room, I need your answers when I'm giving a certain prompt for you. So that's a really interesting thing for me to continue this work in a successful way. So always welcome any of the queries. And what I found regarding my teaching life, the main benefit I found in online is I can get questions from the children immediately through the chat box. But the other days when I'm doing the physical classes, you people are sending me chits, but it takes time. When I take the chit, sometimes the lesson had been already over. But here's not like that. Quick questions, quick prompting, quick response is there. By that time, especially some other thing, like whenever you are going to ask the question, normally I don't reveal your identity. So then who, now sometimes you may ask a foolish question. It's up to you, right? Compared to the lesson. So you don't understand this, but it's not a big question compared to the lesson. Then don't worry, I don't reveal who this is, but I'll answer if it is an applicable question. Otherwise, I'll just neglect that. Sometimes I may take it as joke as well, so don't care about it. But your identity will be kept secured. Don't worry. So is it hard? We haven't done ICT for O levels. Don't worry. What my assessment is, I'm doing A levels from 2000, from the first, our A level syllabus had been started in 2011. So from there onwards, I'm guiding my A level children. So according to the 10 years history, people who did ICT for O levels, they can't remember. Now you did that exams in around 10 months earlier. Now people who did ICT for O levels can't remember what you learned, right? Some basic ideas there. So my performance, according to my history, most of the people who have performed well in A-level ICT are not the ones who have done O-level ICTs. So then if you have not done ICT for O-levels, don't care about it. In my side, I am doing everything from the bottom basement. So that won't be a problem for you. People who have done ICT for O-levels, they'll have that big head. අනේ සර් ඕවා අපි දන්නවා ඔයා මේවා කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ඔයිට වැඩිය බොඩි ටිකක් සර් දේවල් කරන්න අපිව දන්නවනේ ඔහොම එපා අන්න ඒ බොඩි පොරත් වෙන තමයි ඉන්නේ එහෙමයි then they don't get the correct point what we need and that mentality will continue to the other lessons as well So then that will be a big disadvantage for the children who did ICT for O levels. Other people are humbly accepting everything what I'm explaining. That's my experience. So then in my side, don't worry. If you have not done ICT for O levels, that's a plus point for your A levels. One thing. Other thing is, don't worry. I am doing everything where from the bottom level. Don't worry. Good. Then ICT, communication, exchanging ideas, views in between two or more parties. Now, as I said that we all are joined into a Zoom meeting. Is this carrying out a communication? Yes or no? Is this leading to a exchanging of ideas? Why not? Exactly. What I know is going to be shared with you all. Communication. Even you people are chatting me and giving me the reply, asking questions. That's also communication. So then that's how the communication is. Simply exchanging ideas and views. Right. Then other thing is information. Other bill is also decreased. So the vehicle price is increased. So then they are going to be some information. So then such information are going to be exchanged. So when two people are meeting, we just say that, did you know that? So fuel price is increased in Sri Lanka. So in the near future, it will be double. Exchanging ideas. Other parties say, is it? We don't know it. That's communication of information. ICT, information communication. Wait, we have the other word, technology. What is technology? Technology means doing things in an easier way. That's what technology is. So we say that we use technology simply to make, forget about this one. So wheel is a technology. In the ancient history, the human has invented the wheel. That's a technology. Why? It made our things easier to carry things from here to there. We use this wheel and put something there, and we just take this. And later on, people have found many more technologies. Air conditioner is also a technology. Hey, it makes us a comfortable environment, making the room cool. Air conditioning, technology. Vehicle is also technology. Hey, it makes our traveling easier. Technology. Telephone is a technology. So to convey messages, I don't want to go there. I can just convey my message from here to there. Technology. Right? So simply technology means making things easier. In the other way around, I can say that easier ways. Easier way. To do the work, we use an easier way. That's technology. Then information is any fact, any news. Simply. Whatever you hear. Or whatever the message. We can call them for the moment as information. Any message, any information, any news, they can be called as information. Now, the meaning of this ICT is there. ICT is a big subject, right? That's what we are going to do for our A levels. Not only that, even in the university life, even in our higher studies, this is a big subject. This is what this subject covers. It says that information communication technology, meaning here is ICT talks about, ICT covers about easier ways, technology, easier techniques, easier methods in order to exchange communication, exchange your ideas, views, messages, news, what you know between two or more parties. Did you get the idea now? That's what ICT is. ICT is a subject area which is covering the easier ways, very comfortable methods of exchanging messages, views, ideas, facts among the society. Are you okay now? So one child say that, please explain that again. I hope that you got it clear, right? So what I want to mention is, ICT is a subject area where it covers about these powerful, easy, comfortable techniques for you and me, for the humans, in order to share messages, share our ideas. Then that's the reason why we have computers available. We have smartphones available. We have internet available. We have networks available. And further, we have IoT devices. We learned it. We have cloud computing. So then those technologies are varieties, vast amount of technologies are there to make this exchanging of ideas, information much more easy. So here we are learning about the devices, the softwares, the techniques used in it. So that's what the full subject here is. So how these easy methods are applied to our day-to-day life in order to exchange our ideas as well as use. Hope that the basement of the entire subject is okay for you. Then our concepts are, our syllabus is made explaining these technologies, the network technologies, the database technologies, the programming technologies. So those easy methods are taught step by step, chapter by chapter, to give the full coverage as much as possible. Hope that you are open to the topic. Right. So we'll just write a brief introduction, but don't expect that in the exam paper they will never ask define what ICT is. But I just taught this to arrange a base control. Right. We like the topic ICT. Just the introductory line. Okay. We'll say ICT. ICT is a subject area. Is a subject area to cover. Is a subject area to cover easier techniques. To cover easier techniques. To cover easier techniques with the right methods. To cover easier techniques, the methods. In order to exchange. In order to exchange. That means communication, right? In order to exchange. Within the side communication, in order to exchange, within the side communication. In order to exchange, within the communication, cross brackets. Ideas, close brackets, ideas, comma, views, comma, messages, comma, news, messages, news, in between two or more parties. In between two or more parties. In between two or more parties. Fine. So I'll repeat that as now. Normally in my notes style, I'm just telling the notes, the sentences. After it's very difficult for me to revise what I told, since I'm not looking at a paper and giving you the notes. Just the words coming to my head are giving. The idea is, one child asked me to repeat this. So this idea, so ICT is the easier ways or easier methods in order to exchange views, ideas, news, messages among two or more parties. Right? So there are easy methods or easy ways. Right. Next one, your life. It covers computer networks. It covers computer networks, internet, smartphones, computers, cloud computing. We learn them, don't worry. Cloud computing, software, in the field of ICT. In the field of ICT. Right. So then that's the concept ICT, information communication technologies. Right. Now under this topic, so I said you that our first chapter, second chapter is giving you the basement. So when I cover the basement, there are two important keywords. These two keywords were tested in our papers as well. So therefore, it's very important for our papers as well as for our knowledge. That means we have two definitions called as data as well as information. So now these two words are considered as the basic keywords in ICT. Even the people who have done ICT for O levels, ඔන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. අයියෝ සමී ඉදත් අපි කරා data information මේ ආයෙ නම් කතා කරන්න එපා. So ඊට ටිකක් සැර දෙයක් කරන්නට කරන්නේ. උන් තමයි දැන් නා ගන්න හදන්නේ උන් ඈ. Right. So I'm telling that, so be humble and understand there may be new things that you are going to learn now than what you learned in your O levels. And so then I'm going from the beginning. Normally, again, another thing is when you do O levels and A levels, the difference is the concepts you learned in your O levels are enhanced further and coming into the A levels. So again, you learned data information in your O levels. Regarding A levels, it may be more than what you learned there. So therefore, learn everything from beginning. The thing is, what you learned in your O level may not be enough, and that pattern is different than the A level pattern may. So therefore, I'm always saying that be humble and find this. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to grab it. In my side, I'm okay. I'm just stating that from the beginning. So then change your mindset more strongly. Right. Data versus information. These are two keywords. The word information comes in the definition ICT as well. Right. Simply, this is the relationship. When you go for data, we define data as raw facts and figures. That's the valid definition in any syllabus to define data. Here we must use the word raw. While keeping data as it is, I'm going to the other definition, information. So when it comes to information, we define information as processed results. That's the definition for information. Right. Now I'll give the relationship behind this as well. Whenever we go for data, here we have data, and here we have information. We say that information are processed results. The word results come into this place. How can the results are prepared? So results will be generated whenever a work had been done. So you sit for your O levels, you got results. If you didn't do your O levels, how can you get results? So if I work hard, I may get results. I may get sweating if I just run a lot. The results come based on an action. So then this is a final product. Result is the product. So information is a product of a work. So work in our ICT is called as the process. Process is any work. So then after a work, after an activity, the results are prepared, which are called as information. Simply this activity, the process is made onto the raw things called as data. So still I know that you don't get a proper idea. But you just get an idea, information are results. Final products are taken as an action made onto something. They are not the results. These are just values. These are just raw things. Raw means not processed. When you go to a fruit, mango, we have raw mango and ripe mango. Which one is consumable? Raw the ripe ones, consumable. So then raw means they are not ready to consume. They are not prepared. That's a raw idea. Ripe is they are ready, right? So then raw means not ready. That's the next idea. Not ready, not prepared. But results are just like ripe. They are prepared. So when you go for the raw mangoes, as I said earlier, these raw mangoes, they are not ready to consume. Then what we do is we use some process. Sometimes we pick them up and keep them for 1 week under a certain condition. Then they'll make into ripe. That's the process. So we do a certain process on this. Then it makes the ripe mango. So then this is what the result is. This is what the raw thing is. So that is going to be applied into ICT world as well. So then this arrangement is defined as the abstract model of information. So that says that how the information are generated based on raw values, which are called as data. So data obviously raw. When they are processed or activated, the results are prepared called as information. Right. I'll go to an example in our ICT, not about this mangoes, fruits, whatever thing. So then this is a usual example, even you might have experience in your O levels even. When you go to a mark sheet of Sunil, a certain child, mark sheet is here. Then we have the maths marks. And we have the science marks. Even we have the ICT marks. We are just listing them. Say that this is going to be 70, this is going to be 80, as well as 60. Now I want to calculate the total marks of these 3 subjects. Also, I am going to get the average marks of the Sunil related to these 3 subjects. How do I get the total? Now, first thing is I have to add them together. What is this adding? Adding, addition. Is that a process? Is that an information? Is that data or something else? These are to be added. I need your answer. Adding means, what is that?
Process.
Data, the information, the processor is going to be a process, activity, action, really. So since it is going to be a process, it is somewhere like this. Process, action. And this action will give you results. After the action, the products are there, they will be called as information. So then I'll do the addition now. 0, this is going to be 221. So I got a certain product. This is a certain result of the above process. Right. And also not only that, I want to get the average as well. To get the average, I have to have some other action as well. Divide this by the number of subjects. So then when you divide 210 by 3, it gives you a 70.0. So this is also a result. Then you can understand of this example, can you identify and label information? What are information?
Excuse me, sir. When we are counting the total, it's 210, right? Then when comparing to, when we divide it, the 210 becomes a data, right? When comparing with that process and then dividing become the process, right?
Yes, you can consider that as well. Regarding the average process, if you consider the process average, by that time this may be a data. But if you consider total only, regarding this is going to be information. So that's a good argument. Fine. Now somehow when you consider this value 210 as well as whenever we consider the value 70, they are results as you have produced. So if they are results, are they going to be defined as data or information? Results are no argument, they are going to be information. Right. Then this is a hint. Understand, this is a critical point. Information or results, that's okay. Then these results were taken by applying some actions on data. The figures, the values, whatever the things that are subjected to the action, whatever the things that are submitted to the activity are called as data. Now I think you can understand it. Information හැදෙන්නේ මොකක් හරි වැඩක් කරලා. process එකක් හරි. result එකක් හරි. ඔන්න result එක හැදෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ process එක කරද්දී we do that activity on something. The addition is done on something. Addition is a process do on something, that something is called as the data. That is raw. They are not prepared. The figures, the values that are adding the process are called as data. That's why your argument was, whenever we go for 70, 80 and 60, they were not results. They were not prepared. We just brought them from the maths teacher, science teacher, ICT teacher. Now, normally this mark sheet is prepared by the class teacher. So, class teacher asks maths teacher, send me the mark sheet. Science teacher, send me the mark sheet. ICT teacher. So, regarding the class teacher, I'm the class teacher now, your class teacher. Then getting the mark sheet from all the subject teachers. Now writing them. Sunil's maths is here, science is here, ICT is here. I didn't do any calculation. I just look at this sheet, copy this. Look at this sheet, copy this. No calculation, no action. Then after that, now I am the class teacher. Then to get this, I have to do an action, addition, process, and got a result. So this is going to be information. So this action was done on these so that these were subjected to the process. Then these are going to be called as data. And we got this result called as information. That's the first process I did. Then whenever I consider the second process to calculate the average, I got the 70.0 as a result. Into that, I am subjecting 210 as well as 3 as the values. The action is dividing. The process is divided. Into the division, I'm going to use this, then this is going to be called as data by this time, whereas 70.0 is going to be the information. Hope that you people are clear now. So then first come from the reverse, identify what the result or information, that's very easy. Then come down how this information had been prepared using this action. What were used for this action? They are the data. So obviously data are called as raw facts. Any fact, maybe a number, maybe a text, sometimes maybe a picture even. Raw, which are not prepared, which are not processed. And information is processed results. Based on this data, we do a process and the results are called as information. That's the idea. So hope that you people are clear based on this example. Other than that, we can go for some other examples as well. Now this is a numerical example. Okay. I'll just go to some other situation. I think you have never heard such an example earlier. We'll just see that in this room, now you are in a certain room, in your room. Okay, so somewhere here, it's me. Then I see a certain chair in this room, right? Normally, into a chair, we need to have 4 legs, right? Chair, I can't draw that nicely, I'm not a good artist. So that here we have 4 legs like this, and this is chair. So we see a chair with 4 legs. Now, by looking at the chair, this chair is there. I just look at this chair and writing a statement on the paper telling that a chair with 4 legs. I'm writing a statement. I don't do any calculation. You understand? The part work, right? I just wrote a chair with 4 legs. Is this statement considered as data or information? Is that data or information?
Data. Data.
Why it is data, Putri? Why do you call this as data? This is not an information. To make it as an information, there should be a process. Then one child may argue that it is you count these 4 legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, you add them and show that 4 legs. If so, it's information. Oh, we think correct, fine. In that point of view, it's correct, fine, no problem. Really, I'm honestly saying that if you believe in that side, so you count it. So I did a certain work called as counting and got this value as 4, then fine. If so, it can be called as information. But generally, you people are just A-level students, right? So when you look at this chair, will you count that one chair, 1 leg, 2nd leg, 3rd leg, 4th leg, like this? Will you count it? You just saw it, no need to count, it's 4 legs, right? So we obviously will believe that we didn't do any calculation here. Just saw that's a chair, 4 legs, okay. So in that higher level, that's what I expected in the A level, right? Not in the grade 3 level. So people who said information may be in the grade 3 level mentality. So I want you to be A level students now, right? So by that time, I believe that we don't count it. I think you didn't you understood, right? The dispute I am going to introduce. Hari. So we don't need to count it. In that point of view, this is going to be data. Hari. If you have doubts, come up with me. Ani sir, monodi me kya nika vela agar data ke ma information ka matna milo hazara terne sir. Maya and buy it come on, but inform me what's going on there, right? So that's what I'm doing. That communicate with me. So I'm always willing to resolve your doubts. The chat room is open to you. Right. Okay. Now, in that explanation, I may consider this as data. Right. And some people will doubt this as no, sir, I am still in grade 2, so I just consider this as information. You people will believe that information. I am going to told this as a data. You right. A doubt right. Then I am looking at another chair. So there are not only one chair, there are many chairs. Then I saw another chair here. Another chair where one leg is broken here. This is a chair I see now. One leg is broken. Now by looking at that chair, I am writing a small statement telling that a chair with 3 legs. What is this? Is this data or information?
Data.
A data. Hey, I just saw that one leg is broken. I don't need to count that, so I may consider as data. Even grade 2 people will believe it as again information. So I count 1, 2, 3, fine, only 3 legs nicely. Okay. Then looking at this chair, I am writing another statement now telling that don't sit on this chair. Earlier I didn't write it. Now I am writing don't sit on this chair. What is this statement? Data, the information.
It's information.
Data.
Information.
I wrote
Information, sir.
don't sit on this chair. That's what I wrote. Don't sit here. Then when I am looking at this chair, did I see a label telling that don't sit? Did I see some label? No. What I saw was this thing. One leg is broken, there are 3 legs. Okay. Then what I did was I just got that fact. Mate, this is the fact. I got that fact into my tikiri mole, the small brain. And I apply that process. Whenever the chair has a broken leg, 3 legs, now if someone sit on it, he'll fail definitely. Then I should find a notice and mention that don't sit here. That's how this sentence came into the paper. Now, is this something raw? Is this a result? This is a result. Why? By processing this data. Then in that point of view, this is going to be considered as data, and the process is I apply my knowledge. I apply my experience. It's not a mathematical operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication. I apply my knowledge and produce the result. Don't sit here. So this is going to be a result. So that is going to be an information, whereas this is going to be data. Hey, for this result, I use this. This is a data, fact. And that is processed to give you the information. So then I hope that you are clear with this idea. If you apply a certain activity and produce some results, obviously information, then go in the reverse order. Whatever the values, whatever the information, whatever the things that were subjected to the process is called as data. That's right. So then obviously information and data can be numbers, can be sentences, can be events, anything. But mostly when it comes to the computer, it's easy if these data and information are in the numerical textual format. That's right. Now one another thing. Whenever as human beings, if I see something from my eyes, here I saw a chair with 3 legs. That means what I see as it is, will that be treated as a data or information? What I see, is that a process or is that something raw? Most probably.
Process.
It's going to be raw, Pute. Hey, this chair, I saw that. I saw that chair with 3 legs. Then the process is applying that into my brain and compile them. processed it. Correct? So then this is what the information. So even in this case, the class teacher looks at this mark sheet from the eyes, she got it 70, 80, 60. And she applies her maths knowledge to get the answers. They are just processing. Even the other day, another day I just I wake up early in the morning and feel that today is very cool.
Excuse me,
So,
sir. Sir, දැන් අපි මොකක් හරි අපේ S2කට visible එකක් ගත්තාම දැන් sir කියපු විදිහට ඒක raw එකක් නේද? raw data එකක් නේද? එතකොට ඒක process වෙන්නේ brain එකේ. Then what will be the result?
It's up to your decision. Then the action. Wait, I'll just explain this, but then you can understand it. Early in the morning, I just feel cool. Then in my side, did I get that cool feeling from my eyes or from my skin now? Skin, I feel it. Then I decide, I apply in my brain and decide that today it's very cool, so it will rain very soon. I make that decision. If I write if I talk to the people, hey, me amma, ada wahi me patta seethalai. Then other wahi is information I made based on my this thing, my brain, and what the feeling I got is the data in that side. Okay. So then, hope that you are clear with this one. Simply don't think too much here. Most probably, whenever I think everyone is able to get the information, you are able to capture information. So based on the incident they are capturing. Earlier I said that today. Now I said you that. Now I just insult some people, right? So then I say that when I see this chair with 4 legs, now some people argue that this is going to be data, this is going to be information. Both the people were there. That's what I'm telling that. Sometimes deciding whether this is data or information is up to the situation. Can't confirmly say that this is all the time data, this is all the time information. No, it's up to the situation. It may change. Right. So then next thing, one other side you said that. So then whenever we go for the total here, one time we call this as information. When counting the average, we call this as data. So they are not fixed all the time. Depending on the application, the definition, the words may vary. But in our level, what you have to understand is first capture the results based on the given scenario. This is result. That is information. Then trace back. What is the process to get this information? This. Then what were used for this one? They are the data. So go to the reverse order and find data. Start from the information. Right. So then, I think doubts are clear. Fine, right? Okay, then we'll go to the topic data versus information. Okay, so we'll have the topic data versus information. So these are the two main definitions to start our syllabus. Right? Data versus information. We'll continue. Data versus information. We'll say data, information. Data, information. Data, information. Data, information are considered as the two main keywords used in ICT. Right. Then write the first star, say that data. And in front of that, you write what? Data. Star and say data with hyphen, right? Data. Data are defined as data are defined as raw facts and figures. Data are defined as raw facts and figures. Data are defined as raw facts and figures. So put them in double quotes there, raw facts and figures. That's a proper, perfect definition. No worry, you may write it. In the papers, what is data? Write this full marks. Raw facts and figures. Then write on the next line, still under the data, next point we'll write the explanation behind that. We'll say raw facts and figures. We'll write these are figures. These are figures, comma, values. These are figures, comma, values, which are not prepared. Which are not prepared. Within the side, not processed. Which are not prepared. Within the side, not processed. Which are not prepared. Within the side, not processed. Right. Then the other point not to write. So normally data can be numbers. Even data can be text. Even can the data be images? Photos? Can, right? So you just observe a photo and decide that this is based on this likeness. So even in our computer, we are going to process images. So image processing is there. That's another field. So they take the raw image and then recognize the face, how many people are there, and detecting your now in your smartphone, the face detection is there. So then what they do is they take the photo and they'll recognize whether this is a real owner. So then based on that, they'll make the information, yes, this is a real owner, I have to unlock it. That's the information. So not only numbers, even images, videos, sounds can also be treated as different types of data. You are clear? But mainly numbers, text, but other than that, there are more. We'll have the next point. Next point, numbers, comma, text, numbers, comma, text, numbers, text, comma, images, comma, sounds, videos, are treated as data. Are treated as data. Right. Then we'll go to the next keyword, information. With the star we write information, and with the hyphen we'll say what it is. Information. There we write information. Are defined as processed results. Are defined as processed results. Write that within double quotes, right? Processed results, double quotes. Processed results. Next point we write under the information. Whenever the data are processed, we do not say prepared. Whenever the data are processed, we do not say prepared. Comma, the results generated are called as information. Results generated are called as information. Next point. Different varieties of process. Different varieties of process. Different varieties of process can be used to produce information. To produce information. Such as mathematical operations, side plus, minus, division, multiplication, mathematical operations, close brackets, comma, comparisons, comma, applying knowledge, right. Then like another point, still under the information, another point. Information are generated by applying different processes, we might say activities. Different processes, we might say activities, close brackets, onto data. Right. Then after that, shall we take this drawing for them? Now this is what the abstract model of information, right? So then we like with a star again. Now like we had there abstract model of information. This will have that some abstract model of information. We like under that on one sentence. With the star we like abstract model of information. There we like abstract model of information. Under that we like abstract model of information. We like is defining the relationship between data and information. Right. Then we'll have this drawing. Here we have data, process, information. This is what called as the abstract model of information. Take that quickly. Fine. Okay. Then after that abstract model of information, they give me a small time, right? Right. So then that's about abstract model of information. Then I will go to the example regarding this that will clearly mentioning what this data information relationship. Okay, we like the next example. After this, we like example. We like consider a mark sheet. Consider a mark sheet. Consider a mark sheet. Consider a mark sheet of a student. Consider a mark sheet of a student of three subjects. To calculate total, comma average, to calculate total, comma average marks. To calculate total, comma average marks. Right. Then I have sent you the photo into the group. Otherwise, if I give you time to draw this, it will take time. So we need to save our time. So then copy this drawing then. Right. Then I'll explain how they are going to be data, how they are going to be information based on this example. So leave the space for this drawing. This is clear. The photo is there in the group. Leave the space for this example. By leaving the space, we'll say total marks. Leave the space and then write total marks. Total marks is a result of is a result of a calculation, result of a calculation, they might say addition, result of a calculation, they might say addition, based on the marks for each subject, based on the marks for each subject. Therefore, thought is data, the information. Thought is information. Thought is information. While the marks for each subject, becomes data. Marks for each subject becomes data. Marks for each subject becomes data. Next point, still under this example, we'll say average marks is also a result. Average marks is also a result. With regard to say information, average marks is also a result with regard to say information, which was calculated based on the total marks. Based on the total marks. Therefore, next point, therefore, total marks becomes data. Total mark becomes data when calculating the average. When calculating the average. But total marks is information. Total marks is information when calculating the tot. When calculating the total. Hope that you all are clear with the dispute, right? When calculating the total, this is going to be information. But when calculating the average, this is going to be data. So that means we can't always label one as data. They may information, they may be data depending on the application. That's the conclusion. Correct? Okay. Now, hope that you have a clear idea. Even I don't give the other examples, that table thing, whatever the chair thing. So then they are for your knowledge. Now you understand what it is. Data are raw facts, information are the results that we prepare. Right. Now we go further. Now that's about abstract model, even examples. Hope that you are clear with these two concepts. Now, when you go for data, that means raw facts. The data are categorized into two categories. One is called as quantitative data. Other one is called as qualitative data. This will be tested in your paper. Even in previous papers, these were tested. Quantitative as well as qualitative. Data are raw facts, which are subjected to the calculations or processes. They are in two types, quantitative data as well as qualitative data. So now no information comes into the picture. Raw facts are there, data. They are quantitative. What is a quantity idea? English, quantity means amount. Quantity. So I have 5 dogs. Quantity 5. So in quantitative data means the specific data, they are still raw facts. But that specific data can be defined in quantities, values, figures. If there's a data which can be counted, which can be mentioned as an amount, that's called as quantitative data. Qualitative means the data where we can't give them as a quantity. Early example I saw that the chair thing, 4 legs chair, 3 legs chair. So what is the data? I saw a chair with 4 legs, 3 legs. Is that quantitative data or qualitative data? Chair with 3 legs. Quantitative the qualitative. The previous example, you can remember that?
Qualitative.
Quantitative ne 3 legs na 3 counting amount is there. What about this one? Maths mark 70, science 80, or 60? Quantitative or not? Quantitative data. Obviously. What are qualitative data then? Which are not told in figures. No quantities there.
Uncountable.
They are uncountable. Water, likewise. When you, I told you another example. So early in the morning when I wake up, what does it like? Then I'm telling that. So today is very cool. Then you say that it will rain today. What is data now? Very cool.
Quantitative.
Cool. Is that measurable or not measurable by that time? Did you measure and say that you take the thermometer and say that on a other temperature is this much, so it's very cool, it will rain today. Is it? You just told it me. So I just felt it, I just told it. Then by that time, it's called as qualitative data. Why? At that moment, really we can measure it, but at that moment we didn't measure it. That's the data we found at that moment. Very cool, that's all. How cool the environment, I didn't measure it. By that time, it's going to be quantitative data. I mean, qualitative data. Not countable. Then next thing is, whenever you see the color of the sky, you just go outside and say, oh, your color is dark sky. Based on that, you say that again, it will rain in the evening. Dark sky. How dark the sky is? Can you count it? Can you give a today the darkness is 5. It will, if it goes around 5.5, it will rain. Can you say like that? No, this is qualitative. Even when you take that cat, this is this Pusa is a certain character nowadays, right? Whatever that this Pusa is missing, right? So now when you take cat, you just wipe it and say that on show cat in a smooth. They are in the teacher's guide you, right? So now when you just go for the smoothness of a skin, smoothness of a cat, smoothness of a cloth, can you count it? You feel that, right? I feel how smooth is it. So then, but we can't count it. So then they are data, what you get as raw things, but uncountable. Most of the times regarding our ICT works, we work with quantitative data, not with qualitative data. Why? With the correct measurement, we can judge. If you don't have a correct measurement, it's difficult to judge. It's just a fact only. Can't judge perfectly. Right? So then these very neat and clear concepts behind data. Okay, we like again with the sum. With the sum we like. The available data are categorized. The available data are categorized into two main categories. Right. Then we like part A, quantitative data, and under that we'll write things. Then we'll take the other one, right? Part A, quantitative data. Under that we'll write quantitative data. There we write. They are still raw facts. They are still raw facts. While it is possible to measure, count, while it is possible to measure, count, or give it as an amount. Give it as an amount. Example, marks of a subject. Price of a product. 20 rupees. That's countable. Date of birth of a student. That's fixed. Height of a mountain. Human body temperature to check your fever. Human body temperature.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
How date of birth of a product can be taken?
If they say that date of birth will count, right? This fixed date. That means you were born on this day. Say someone born on 2020, 2005, 1st of 23. This is date of birth. Right? Then another in my side answer is that your date of birth like this. So I were born earlier to you. Then this is counting available. Your date of birth is this fixed. Normally count in the sense you may feel that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this also a fixed value. Got it? So then based on that we can judge this person is born earlier to that, this person is born after that. We can have it. But when you look at the sky, we can't fix into it. Not steady. Some idea black is there, but we don't know how dark is it. Here is fixed, steady, quantitative. Quantity can be told. Date is this, calendar date is this. After this day or before this day is there, fixed. Right? Okay. Then there are examples of quantitative data. And again, other fact is most of the times our computers use quantitative data for doing their operations, why they are fixed, steady, unlike this one. These are not fixed, that's the point. They are not countable. We can't steadily mention that this is it. Some rough idea is there, but not perfect. Right. We like further after these examples, under the quantitative, another example, another point. Quantitative, we like some other point. The computer-based operations, are using quantitative data. You are using quantitative data since they are fixed values, comma, amounts. Fixed values, comma, amount. Fixed values, comma, fixed amounts. That's about quantitative data. Then there's a question coming from you. Sir, can the usage of data like megabytes, gigabytes are quantitative? What is your answer? Your internet usage, gigabytes, megabyte, is that quantitative or qualitative?
Quantitative.
Is it quantitative? It's measuring. So we are being given 30 GB to use. Then I have used 5 GB up to now. That's quantity. That's a value. Obviously, quantitative data. Right. Then part B, qualitative data. Qualitative data. That means really they are not measurable, they are not countable, can't give a specific figure onto this. We like quantitative data. Are raw facts. Which are not countable, comma, measurable, right, full stop, countable, comma, measurable. Example, color of the sky. Color of the sky. So we can't measure that, right? Next, comma, color of the sky, comma, softness of a cloth. How soft that cloth is. And also we can just come across some real world incidents. So when you go for vehicles, so when you are going to buy a vehicle, so the quality, how quality that vehicle is, on the quality, fine. Then can you give that as a figure, the quality of the vehicle? It's good, fine. Then how much quality is it? You don't have answer there, right? You understand? So when you are going to define the quality of the vehicle, especially when you are going to buy a certain vehicle from a used vehicle, you just inspect the vehicle and say that good quality. But how good is it? 5 good, 10 good, 50 good? No, right? So then quality of the vehicle is also going under the qualitative category. Can't give that value in figures. Right. So then another example, comma, quality of a vehicle. Quality of a vehicle. And simultaneously, the impression, sometimes you have some impression about some other person. So what about that impression? That's a data, so I have an impression on that person. The best thing is the teachers have impression about children, right? So then, so this student is a good student who is working dedicated, but the teacher will rank that person as a good who work hard student, but not quality, sorry, not quantitative. That's data. Yes, even the feelings you get, how painful you are in a certain disease. So I'm paining, I can't mention that. So really they are like that. Good. So then another comma, impression on a student. Impression on a student. Right. And again, there's a question from you. So what about names of people, subject names, village names? Are they quantitative or qualitative? My name is Indunil. Quantitative or qualitative? It's quantitative. It's specifying who I am. Kandy, quantitative. Giving a quantity. Quantity means now it says that Kandy is 500 kilograms weight. No, specifically mentioning that can have a certain figure in it. Right? So then, therefore, it's like that. And again, another question came from you telling that what is that currency, dollar value, quantitative or qualitative? That's obvious. It's going to be quantitative, right? Dollar is
A city can be quantitative by the scale. A name cannot be a quantitative, sir.
City can be
taken as a quantitative due to the scale of the city. But how the name be taken?
But that is specifically mentioning that name. Now, whenever you hear the word quantity all the time, really, that's a confusion you have. So quantity means you feel it as a number. So no need to be number. We'll go to the opposite. Qualitative means we'll go in the reverse order. When you go to qualitative, can't define that in a number, can't specifically say any. Softness of the skin. We can't specify that. Soft HRI. How soft we can't measure that name. But when you go for a name, we say that Kandy, city name. Then can't you specify that Kandy? Fine me. Kandy කියන්නේ මේ මෙතන හරි මේ මෙතන තමයි තියෙන්නේ ඔය හරි ඕන්න Kandy. හැබැයි I'm that soft. අනේ your skin is so soft. But can you specifically say that soft is this? No. Sky color black. But I'm telling someone. Can you remember that? Someone gave me a big punishment on that day. Someone. When you say someone, is that specifically mentioning the incident? Someone can me manusia hari. So that's fixed. But the color of the sky is not fixed. Black. Mona black do again. The monkey na someone. Someone kiwa someone ya hari. Eto take resolve. Are you clear with the doubts now? So then quantitative means basically it should be numbers, but even based on your questions, even if you go for cities, names of people, village names, they are also counting under the quantitative category. Why? They are specifically mentioning this is the thing. Quantitative now we can't specifically say that this is the thing. Qualitative, quality can be told, but how much quality can't be told. Now I think the doubts are resolved. Fine. Okay. So then qualitative are fine. Okay. Right. So then we had those examples. So that's the examples and the definition behind qualitative as well as quantitative data. Right. Then you go to the next point behind information. This is about data. Fine. Whenever we go for information, we said that information are always processed results. They are results which are processed. Then, again, I'll go to this part, the abstract model, data, process, and bringing new information. They are results. Now, data, are they appearing as a result of yours, or most of the data just found from your surrounding? Data, are we preparing them with a huge effort, or are they just appearing around you when compared to information? When you go for information, are they just available on your surrounding to collect, or are we preparing the information with a big huge effort?
For information, we prepare it, and for data, it's available.
Only available. Correct. Then when you come for information, we are going to put a big effort on preparing this process. Process has to be there. Then are we going to prepare this information for meaningless result or for meaning full result? We make this huge effort in order to prepare some meaningless thing or meaningful thing.
Meaningful things.
Only otherwise, why do we use this energy, power, and everything to get some meaningless? Therefore, when it comes to information, we judge that, we confirm that information are always meaningful. But when it comes to data, they can be meaningful or meaningless.
Meaningless.
All the time.
No, can be meaningless or meaningful. It depends on how we take it.
That's it. Now, when it comes to this maths marks, this data, right? Is there a meaning or meaningless? These are the meaning, right? Maths marks 70. Oh, we understand that. Next thing, if I go to a certain value like this, I just give this. Is this data information? I just write 101. Information. Data information.
Data.
Why data? Why data? We can't see any process here. We can't see the result. Just 101 was written. Then most of it may be data. Correct, fine. Then is this data meaningful or meaningless?
Meaningless.
Hey,
Because we don't know what we are going to do with that.
that's it. We don't know what the representation is. Sometimes one person says, how can you say meaningless? This is 101. 101. Oh, this is meaningful. Another person said, and this is something written in binary number. You don't know binary numbers. This is in binary. This is not 101. You be crazy. Another person said that, no, this is the digital representation of an image. Image is digital representation in the computer. Then we don't know what is real. Therefore, we may say that this is meaningless. So then, idea is data can be meaningful or meaningless. While information are always meaningful, why we do things to get meaningful results all the time. That's right. Right. Now the next thing is Whenever we are going to prepare this information, we want them meaningful. Therefore, we expect some features on information to decide whether they are good information or bad information. So information, we make them for our use. Once you are going to make them, sometimes it may be bad information. Sometimes it may be good information. That's based on the operations, that's based on the data, that's based on the situation we apply. We'll see what they are. One example. Here we have maths marks, science marks, ICT marks. I got my total as 230. Again, as I'm telling to my Tikiri Mole, when I'm doing this addition, I got the answer like this. Then, is this 230 information or data? Is this data or information?
Information.
Information. I applied addition onto this process and got this. But is this correct information or wrong information?
Wrong information.
Wrong information. Then is that said to be as good information or bad information? Bad, all my work is fine, but the way I did the calculation is wrong. Then to make it as good information, we expect one feature called as accuracy. Information we prepare should be accurate, then it is going to be better, good information. Simultaneously, sometimes you may get another answer to get the total or whatever thing. I just do some other calculation here. So even we don't know much about it. Maths people still you didn't learn this. So you do something called as Z-score calculation. In your final A level, they do it. Then this is calculated Z-score. Some other value, just like maybe 1.07 is the Z-score value. Is that relevant for this incident? That's good to measure the students. Our final A level research is also based on Z-score. But at this moment, we said total, but they put the Z-score value. Is that relevant? No, the calculation may be correct, but not relevant. Also, we say that is a bad information. So to make it as good, we have to be, it should be relevant. Relevant to the expected work. Otherwise, it's also not good. So likewise, there are many features we may decide based on information. Why we are going to make them for our use. So we need good information, not the bad information. Hope that you are clear. Right. So like on the next point, with the star, we like don't go to the topic information. We like the star. No, we'll have the subtopic information. We'll say yes, information. We'll say information. We like. And that's like information are prepared. Information are prepared with information are prepared with a huge effort. Information are prepared with a huge effort by applying the activities huge effort by applying activities, full stop. Therefore the expectation of information is to produce, is to produce meaningful results. Meaningful results. Meaningful results. While data, can be, either meaningful, or meaningless. Meaningful or meaningless. Either meaningful or meaningless, since they are available, to use. While data can be meaningful or meaningless, since they are available to use. Since they are available to use. Next point. When generating information, it is worth, when generating information, it is worth to produce, good information, so that the final decision making, will be perfect. Final decision making will be perfect. Will be perfect. Next point, again with the star we light on the next line with a star. We like with a star, features of good information. Features of good information. Features of good information. We like the first feature as accuracy. With hyphen we like one statement, accuracy, that's one feature. Then we like accuracy. All the processes and the results, must be, producing 100% accurate results. 100% accurate results. Accuracy. 100% accurate results. Next one, relevance. The second feature of good information, relevance. You can understand that relevance means the results prepared, information must be related to the use. We like relevance. The prepared information must be related to the expectation. Must be related to the expectation. Right. Next one is timelines or timeliness. Timeliness. Simply we can call this as up-to-dateness. Timeliness or up-to-dateness. You know up-to-dateness, right? The results will be up-to-date. So whenever we prepare the mark sheet, we have to get the average marks of the recent term test, not the last year term test. If the teachers produce the last year term test average marks, we are going for wrong mark. That's not good. So to make it as good, definitely we have to worry about the timeliness, whether they are according to the correct timelines, according to the correct timing. Then only we are going to consider this as good information. You understand that? Right? We like a point behind that. The information produced must match with the required time period. If you want, you can say example, the average marks, AVG marks, of the recent term test. Average marks of the recent term test, comma, not the last year. Recent term test, not the last year. So paper will ask questions, right? Which of the following is a feature of good information? For that one, you have to be ready for that one. Then the other one is understandable. That means the specific information has to be made available in an understandable way. Say that the class teacher is expert in Chinese. So she has writing, doing the calculation and to show her colors, writing the whatever the total marks in Chinese language and giving that as principal. Correct, but not understandable, useless. Principal will give the punishment to the Chinese teacher then. That's another story. But what I want to say is the available results or information has to be in the understandable format to make them usable. Simple. Okay, like understandable. The information must be in a understandable, readable format. Understandable, readable format. Next one is reliable. So within brackets, write as trustworthy. This word comes in most of the cases in ICT. So reliability, most of the people don't have a proper idea behind that. So reliability means trustworthiness. Whenever you get information, that should be trustworthy. As an example, you got your O-level results. So your friend comes and says, "Hey, Machang, you got 9 A's." Will you rely on that? Your friend says that, "Hey, you got 9 A's. Congratulations." Maybe this will never know it. So it's not reliable source. Now you type your index number in the website and check it. 9 A's. So then that's a reliable source. So likewise, when you get information, that should be from reliable, trustworthy sources. That's the reliability. If you get an information from unreliable source, we don't believe that. So we can't use that properly. So to make the information good, that should be trustworthy information. So we should know how it has been made, and then we'll believe on it. Like reliable, trustworthy. Under that, like the information must be available. The information must be available in a trustworthy manner. In a trustworthy manner, while creating, generating the information, generating information based on trustworthy techniques. Based on trustworthy techniques. Right. Then there are some features we need to consider about good information. Then I hope that whatever we did today, the first lesson, may be okay for you. And again, all the time I'm telling you that. So then we don't have much more time available. So therefore, don't waste your time today. Not only in my subject, you have another 2 subjects more. So then collectively, you have to prepare for the final exam. Then prepare your day. Now these days, still you are free, no schools, strike and everything. So therefore, have a better revising. So complete what we do now and finish that part. So don't take that in the last moment. So then do your work on time. Then in 2020 August, you are confidently going for the paper, having no doubts. But if you don't do your work now, if you're wasting your time playing games, worrying about social media, scrolling up and down, watching films, then you understand what will be the result in 2023. හැබැයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ මොනවද? So ඉතින් O level උත් එහෙම දාපු එකේ ඉතින් මට 9 ආවා ඉතින් නෑ. මම කියන්නේ O level වැඩක් නෑනේ පුතේ. O level is useless. So the same work you did in O levels, try that in A levels. Definitely you have to do it for the second time. So then don't be like that. So we are experienced people. So then we are just guiding that. Not only myself, all the teachers are telling the same thing. So I am just telling that this, you may be enough of listening to this, but I'm telling that again. At least some motivation goes to you thinking that මේ යකත් මෙහෙම කිව්වා, අර මෑනුත් මෙහෙම කිව්වා, මොනවා හරි දෙයක් කරන්න ඕන කියලා හිතෙනවා නම් that's the plus point. So start your work. Don't waste your time. That's the plan for the next 2 years to come. So it's a big plan. It's a big process that will decide your life, right? This is the point to decide your life. Now, most of the people, according to the current situation, don't like to be in Sri Lanka. If you have to go abroad, this is the only pathway, right? No need to pay. Free passport will be given to you if you get graduate from flying colors. So then for that one, this is a basement. Do that. Okay. So then I don't take too much of time. So I'll stop here. And people who miss some of the notes, some people tell me that repeat this. Sometimes since I can't revise that, I just skip that. So you can check the recording from the website. So once it is available, the London Bridge people will announce through the group. So then you can access the recording, but recording will not be there for long time, right? Mostly it may be available in the website for 24 hours. That means 1 day or 2 day maximum. So during that time, access it. Don't ask the recording after 2-3 days. So then that's your responsibility to finish all your notes, all your drawings on time. Recording will be available only for 1 day. So until tomorrow midnight only. So therefore, be ready for that one, as well as access the recording to revise, to cover the missing areas. That feature is also there in your online session. Okay. So then I'll stop here. So hope to meet you on next Sunday at the same time. So then don't waste your week. Use that productively regarding your academics until the next Sunday arrives. See you then. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.